Grand, guys, buying, selling at auction makes a lot of money. It can be a very fast way to sell, a very fast way to buy. It's my favourite way to buy at auction. And I'm with Charlie Dole from Straker's Auctions, and we're giving you all of the inside information of working in an auction house. Charlie's got a decade and a half of experience. He's a fantastic auctioneer. You should go along to their events just for fun, as well as you should definitely be buying. But on this particular one, I want to ask, if you are buying in the auction, who's my competition? Who else is buying?
It's an interesting question, that, because I mean the buyers come from all walks of life.
Yes.
I do quite often split them down into categories, rightly
yes.
or wrongly. What we tend to find, we've got what we call sort of the dealer, investor,
which
developer,
would be me.
which would be you, who buy on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They're coming, it's part of a larger portfolio.
Yes.
They're a bit more pragmatic, a bit more, this is what it is, if I don't get it, I'll move on to the next one.
And for that, you've got to see the video, How Do I Get a Deal at Auction? Because you gave some great advice for that one.
Yeah. So that's one sort of buyer who, and generally it's all about the profit on that one. So that type of buyer, if I'm going to be totally honest, doesn't tend to buy the majority of stock in the auction room because they're wanting to make their 20% profit, 25% profit, whatever it is.
Yes. How many of those in a year as a percentage of your overall stock? Because that then tells our guys how many are deals. Like really cracking deals.
I would say they probably buy less than a fifth.
20% of every auction catalogue is available to you lot. That's good.
That way. Yeah,
that's good.
But they're the more experienced buyers. They'll also buy the property that has issues that the general public can't deal with. That's their sort of stock.
Great.
Then we go down to what I call, again quite rudely in some cases, a weekend doer-upper. So
I mean, it's real.
It is real. So
they're
it's people that are generally working in the week.
Yeah.
They've either got some money or they're looking at they want to make some more money. So they'll buy sort of renovation doer-uppers and they'll do it in their spare time.
Will they do it themselves?
A lot of them do a lot of it themselves, but generally you find they're having to get tradesmen in to get various bits done.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll do a lot of it themselves,
yes.
and the idea then is generally to sell it on and then go on to the next one. And we find a lot of, so when I mentioned before about the builders and developers, they start out as this sort of part-time doing up, and then they get a bit of experience, and then they graduate through, and then they go, actually, rather than just being a hobby or a little cash on the side, this can then become my lifestyle, my job.
Which is probably you guys as well.
Yeah, I imagine it would be, yes. Yes. And then the third type.
So we're weekend warriors.
Yeah. Well, you were at one point.
I was. I did, sorry, I'm getting excited. Absolutely spot on. I bought 7 houses when I was still working a full-time job. And then I jumped out my day job. And then I did 43 houses the following year because I worked full-time. Yeah. So, and it was like 3 houses the first year, 4 houses the next 6 months, then jumped out the day job because I did it for 18 months before I jumped out the day job. So I was that weekend warrior and then did 43 deals because it was full-time, because I'd learnt the skills, the techniques, the experience. Yeah. So property auctions are for people buying their first properties as well as the experienced people. Yeah,
and I suppose the third type we come across is, I suppose you could say it's the end user. It's the person that's buying it because they're going to live in it.
Yes.
They're the ones, and that happens a lot. Certainly with the village properties, the nice properties, or the nice building plots, for instance, with the self-builders, the ones where they're going to live in.
Yeah.
Now, if you're buying to get deals and investments on those properties, they're the ones you're going to struggle with, because more often than not, if it's someone's dream house to live in, profit just goes out the window.
Gotcha.
It's all about desire. It's all about the romance of it, and they'll always push themselves a little bit further than what they should. And I think sometimes you have to accept that, you know, as a dealer, as an investor, you're not going to get that property. Once you've got somebody that's bidding against you and they're not stopping, it's not going to be your evening. But
you gave Charlie did a brilliant video about key tips to make money in property, and that was one of them, which is accept that you're not going to get every deal. Yeah. But if you understand your competition and the people who are by and large in your room, and they're kind of categorized in 3 groups, at least you can understand why, you know, that whole thing of, oh, that one went crazy at auction because it was somebody who fell in love with the property.
Yes.
And then the middle range, the weekend people, I was one of them, and you probably are or were, and then the bona fide dealers who are more happy to let things go.
Yes.
So it's logic and passion, passion.
Yes.
Yes, there you go. Now you understand the room, you understand who you're up against. Good luck to you.